Palm Sunday, liturgy is such a moving, powerful part to begin our Holy Week. I want to thank all of our readers for playing a part in breathing life into that story, making it a very real and visceral story for all of us. I don't know if I shared with you all, but it was actually on a Palm Sunday years ago when I first felt the call to the priesthood. So I had to answer that call to the priesthood. I was sitting about where CD is, actually, right about there. You feeling anything, CD? We'll give it a minute. I felt the call of God. And in a way I had not felt in a long, long time. And it was the beginning of Holy Week, so I said, okay, God, let's take a walk. Let's take a walk through Holy Week together. And that was the first time I had ever done every service in the Holy Week service. Maundy Thursday, Palm Sunday, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, the Great Vigil of Easter. And just held hands with God as we walked through those services together. And it was moving and it was transforming. And so I want to commend that to you. Not with the goal of saying all of you are supposed to find yourselves called to priesthood at the end of the week. But God is reaching out to you in some way. Holy Week is an invitation for us all to walk with God this week in whatever way calls to you. For some of us, that's going to be, you'll come to Palm Sunday, and we'll come again next Easter Sunday, and that's fine. And maybe in the week, in the middle, then it'll be a great time to take your Lenten devotional book and make sure you read all of the devotional readings for this week. Maybe it's a good week to pick up the Bible and to read through the Passion story in the Scriptures. Maybe read through it in all four of the Gospels. See how it speaks to you in different ways. But I want to commend you all, if you can. If you can make it to any of the Holy Week services, all of the Holy Week services. They're amazing, amazing services. Our Palm Sunday starts us off with a triumphant march into Jerusalem, walking into Jerusalem as the King, as Jesus did. Maundy Thursday will be our chance to gather with each other for a meal the way Jesus gathered with his disciples for a last meal. The Maundy Thursday liturgy it's Jesus' last chance to teach them. It's his last chance to give his disciples one parting lesson before he goes. And he uses that lesson to wash their feet. And then the service continues when he's arrested and taken away from us. And we have the stripping of the altar. It's a powerful, it's a moving service, Maundy Thursday. I tell people, if someone were to come to me and say I can come to one service all year long and only one service, I would tell them, come to Maundy Thursday. Hands down. It's an amazing service. But for some people, it's Good Friday. The Good Friday service, where we'll have one at noon. It marks that time at noon when Jesus was crucified. And we wait with him. We wait with him until he breathes his last. And it fills us with that sense of what it's like to not have God in our lives. That I really don't think we can get what the resurrection means truly, deeply, unless we've known what it's like to not have God, to have God taken away from us. And we'll do it again in an evening service at the Stations of the Cross, where we mark Jesus as he carries the cross. And then, only then do we get to celebrate the resurrection. We have 3 Easter services. We have our 8 a.m. service on Sunday and our 10 a.m. service on Sunday. But the first one is our Great Vigil of Easter on Saturday night, where we gather on Saturday night at sundown. And we remember what it was like to be those disciples who are suffering and struggling because Jesus has died. And they feel so alone. And in the midst of that despair and feeling alone, the light of Christ comes back into the world. And it fills our church, and we get to celebrate because Jesus is resurrected and triumphs over death and sin forever after all. And we get to be here together for it. So I would commend to everybody, find how God is speaking to you. Ask God. Pray with him today. Ask God, how do you want me to walk this walk with you? And let yourself be moved. Let yourself be transformed in whatever way God has planned for you this whole week.